What's going on, guys? We are back for another episode of the MMA Archive. And as you see, I got my man, Eric Betts Fights, with me here. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and give them your handles?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me on, Christopher. I appreciate it. Yeah, my name's Eric. You can find me at Eric Betts Fights on Twitter and also Eric Betts Fights on YouTube. I'm a longtime MMA fan, longtime casual MMA gambler, turned kind of recently trying to take the MMA gambling game a little more serious. Started making content just kind of recently, tracking my bets kind of recently. So, and I'm a huge fan of the really early UFC events. So this is kind of a perfect opportunity for me. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, man, of course. Really been looking forward to this all week, so I'm hyped to do this. Just so you guys know, we're not going to be having the video or the audio as a part of this broadcast, but I encourage you all to follow along. I'm going to have a ticker come up once we press play, just so you guys could sync it up. But before that, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Negron MMA, as well as on Instagram at Chris Negron _. While you're there, make sure you follow the brand as well at OTS Media Co. On all platforms, as well as OTS Media on YouTube. So you can get all of our episodes every single week. But if you're ready to go, I'm ready to press play right now. I could give you the countdown.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. We're rolling, baby. Oh man, these video effects are great, dude. This video.
I miss Ultiman, the original logo guy there. I've thought about getting a tattoo of that, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, it's sick. I really liked when they did that throwback event in Denver. I like that logo a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. I've got it. Oh man, where is it? I have a hat. Oh, it's right here.
Nice, nice.
I have a hat with the old logo.
That's so dope. Yes, sir. And just so you guys know as well, because they're probably introducing this right now. This is the first time in UFC history where they split everything up into weight classes. So heavyweight is over 200, and then anything underneath is lightweight, which is pretty funny to think about when you realize how far away those two weight classes are today.
Yeah, and there's a whole crazy. I don't know if you how much you looked into the event beforehand, but this was the event where they had to move the entire thing like the day of the event. There's a whole crazy story behind this. It was supposed to take place in New York. That's why they showed Niagara Falls at the beginning there. It was supposed to take place in New York, but they're actually in Alabama because New York decided like the day before the event that they weren't going to allow them to do MMA there. And they had to relocate to Dothan, Alabama in like 18 hours or something crazy.
Dude, that is insane. Thank you for that nugget, because I don't look into these at all. I try to come in as fresh as I can. Cool. That's hilarious, dude. That's and it was illegal until what 6 years ago or so.
Yeah, not that long ago. Yeah,
it's crazy. The powerful.
Yeah, New York was kind of the last spot that they were trying to. It was like a super big deal when they finally got it legalized in New York. I remember that. Yeah,
I was pissed too because those MSG tickets were insane. I didn't go to that one. I went to the Barclays one after, which was really fun. Got to see Khabib face Ally Quinta in that one.
Nice. Yeah, I bet those tickets were ridiculous.
Yeah, those MSG ones were crazy, dude. Like 2,000 for nosebleeds. I'm like, no, thank you.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I live in Vegas, and I loved it pre-Apex. Because they would have like the tough finales and the smaller shows like that. They do them at like Pearl at the Palms and stuff like that. And those places were awesome. But now it's like, I've been to events at the T-Mobile and it's cool, but it's like so big and so expensive. And it's so fun to go to like smaller venues. So I do want to do the VIP experience at the Apex eventually, but it costs like $1,500. And I got to A, save up that money, and B, convince my wife that it's a good use of $1,500. So
for sure. Yeah, I heard so many good things about the Pearl at the Palm specifically. Like, it's really intimate. I want to go there to just see an event, even if it's a lower level MMA show or something. I just really want to feel that, because everyone talks about that. I feel like that's what really got me hooked as a fan too. When the first event that I went to was actually in New Jersey, the night that Luke Rockhold faced Lyoto Machida. And when I went that night, I was already hooked. I was already watching every week, but seeing it live really made the difference for me. Like I was convinced that no sport could overtake the way this made me feel like while I was there. So I can only imagine what it's like with the more, intimate arenas.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Pearl at the Palms is the coolest place I've seen an event. There's not a bad seat. And there's a balcony there. And if you're up in the balcony, it's almost like you're looking, like the balcony is almost directly above the above the octagon. You're like looking down into it. It's really cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So they're showing the tournament brackets here. We got Jerry Bolander. I don't know this lad's first name. Vitor Belfort. Oh man, I'm excited for this. Scott Ferrozzo's in this. A couple of new guys as well that I don't know their first names.
Yeah, Trey Teligman and Jim Mullen.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, Trey Teligman was one of the early Lions Den guys.
There's so many of them, dude. So it's crazy. I try to like pick out and like really pay attention to their corners. So is this a featured bout or is this part of the tournament?
Yeah, I think that this is like a super fight or whatever. I think they just a separate fight for the heavyweight championship. Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. So this is the first time, I guess, the inaugural heavyweight championship fight, huh?
Yeah, I guess it would be. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it would be. Yep.
That's really cool, man. Really
crazy.
Cool.
I never even thought about that, but yeah, you're right. And there's
the
first appearance of Joe Rogan right there. This is his debut event.
So young, dude. HGH wasn't even a thought at this time. He's so skinny.
He looks, I mean, you could tell it's him, but he looks really different.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. And you could see the nerves too. That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I love how these early events were in like, like civic centers and stuff. They were like, maybe 2,000-3,000 people or something. Not, they're not in super big arenas.
Exactly. And I love the way they sort of emphasize the crowd too. You see a lot of people with posters and things like that. Every event I've been to, I've never seen anyone with a poster. So I'm like, they were really about it back then.
Michael DePasquale Jr. I remember so many of these names because I used to watch these events so many times. Like 20 years ago.
Like, I was going to say.
I was going to talk about this a little bit. Like 15-20 years ago when, I didn't have internet, I didn't have cable or anything like that. Like I had a TV and a VCR and a bunch of UFC tapes on VHS. So like the same way you'd like pop in your favorite movies and rewatch them, I used to just watch these old UFC tapes just over and over and over again. And like 1 through 12 are like, this was kind of the end of the ones that I've seen like a ton of times. But yeah, I used to just pop these in and watch them all the time.
That is so cool. Did you get like a set or was it just like, I need to get these and you ended up buying them?
I bought them over time I bought some of them off of like eBay and stuff like that. And I bought some of them off of a bootlegging website, but I would also find them at video rental places where they'd have them for sale. They'd have cause it was like around the time that they're, switching over more to DVD. So they'd have the VHS tapes for sale. So I had a whole big collection of UFC VHS tapes.
Nice. I'm sure you had to fight to keep those in the house too.
I actually lost a bunch of that stuff because when I moved to Vegas, I mailed a bunch of stuff here, a bunch of my books and DVDs and stuff. And several of the boxes got lost in transit. So I lost a bunch of my MMA stuff, unfortunately.
That's tough. That is tough. They got Ken Shamrock on commentary. I wonder if he was there for the whole night. Do you know?
I'm not sure.
That's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's a little different watching these events without any audio, but let's do the damn thing. So our first fight, we got Jerry Bolander up against Rainy Martinez. This guy looks like that old dude at the gym that nobody should fuck with because as soon as he starts, they just get tagged trying to spar with him. That's who Rainy Martinez looks like. I'm gonna quickly just type this in.
So yeah, Jerry Bolander, he was one of the early Lions Den guys as well, the Ken Shamrock students.
And there's Martinez. Sorry about that. What did you say?
Oh, I was just saying, Rainy Martinez is walking out holding his cornerman's hands here. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, literally. Guide me. Yeah, it's one thing to be in the Gracie train. This is more intimate than we're definitely used to. I always find it funny. I try to highlight these things when I'm watching, when I do the show, but I feel like everyone obviously here, there's no Reebok deal or anything like that. So these guys are wearing whatever the hell they want. So I find it so funny. People are in shoes, people have on tube socks, but like everyone has their own different vibe, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if this rule was instituted from the beginning or if it came about at a particular event, but you were allowed to wear shoes, but you weren't allowed to kick to the head if you had shoes on.
From what I understand, you're not allowed to kick at all.
That may be.
Yep. But I feel like with all these early events, like he tries to uphold the rules, but you could get away. It's like today, like you could get away with some shit before there's even a threat of a point being taken away.
See, I remember that first event that I went to live, UFC 26, there was actually a dude, Alex Andrade, who was disqualified for kicking with shoes on at that event.
Wow. I like too that I feel like after UFC 10, they really leaned
Might
into
be the only
production.
time that's ever happened.
Yeah, man. It hasn't happened yet, so for sure. Yeah. But I feel like after UFC 10, they really leaned into the production angle. Like they have so many more interviews, a lot of pre-fight stuff to sort of build that hype, which is really good. You get to know these guys a little bit more. Unfortunately, we're not hearing any of it.
But... Yeah. And yeah, I think Jerry Bolander, if I remember correctly, went on to, after his fighting career, I think he was a police officer in like Georgia, maybe. I can't remember for sure. I might be wrong about some of this stuff. I'm just going off of what I remember off the top of my head. But
you're good. Yeah, add anything. And look at him. Ken Shamrock obviously isn't walking in with him, but I love how they always have that matching tracksuit thing going on.
Yeah.
Anybody else I recognize here? Like, I remember the first time I saw Javier Mendez in Brian Johnson's corner, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, he looks so young, dude.
Yeah, I love these screens where it shows their joint locks, chokeholds, takedowns, ground game.
Building them like Street Fighter characters, dude. Like these are their attributes. Yeah, literally.
Oh, we do get the tail of tape.
Yes, sir. 5'11", 199 for Jerry Bolander, 6 foot, 195 for Rainy Martinez. He might have had a couple rocks in his socks for that one because he looks pretty smaller than Jerry Bolander. I found that pretty funny too in these early events. There was a lot of times where you could tell they just used the information they had from the last event, but clearly you could see like Ken Shamrock got like 20 pounds bigger in between events, and they still have him listed as like 230.
Well, it's pretty clear they just went with whatever info they told them too, because was it UFC 6? Remember that dude John Matua that Tank Abbott knocked out? They said he was 400 pounds. He was a big dude, but I don't think he was 400 pounds.
Yeah, literally.
They clearly just said, "What do you weigh?" And he was like 400 pounds, and they were like, "Cool."
Or that other guy, I forget his name, but Don Fry knocked him out in 8 seconds in Puerto Rico, and he's like, I have a 200-0 record in street fighting, and he just gets torched.
Yeah, I think his name was Thomas Ramirez.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Yep. He was fighting with a black T-shirt on, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Can't let the rolls fly out. I feel him. That's me at the pool, dude. You gotta contain it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, same.
This is Manny Martinez as well on the announcer, which I find hilarious. Bruce Buffer made his debut like a couple events ago, but he hasn't been back since.
Oh, look at that. It's in the octagon under the logo. It says "Seeing is believing." I don't even remember that tagline. I don't. Weird.
I love that they always have different stuff like that, like super cheesy, but it works. It works.
It does look nice with the canvas clean like that without the sponsors all over it and stuff. It looks cool.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve about that whole sponsorship deal, because y'all make such a big deal about the fighters looking terrible, and y'all made the cage look like absolute shit.
Well, now the short sponsor anyway, it's the one, crypto.com and stuff that the UFC chooses.
Even worse. Yeah, that's even worse than anything the fighters use. All right, we're getting started here.
First fight is underway.
Yes, sir. Both coming out unorthodox. Oh man, Rainy Martinez is doing that thing where he just looks down at the floor and that's tucking your chin.
Yeah, it looks like it took him a few seconds there to figure out that he was in a fight. Yeah, kind of a weird demeanor going on there.
Oh, he's jumping guillotine. Definitely not at the right angle though. Jerry's wise to it. He cleared the legs. Now he's in side control. Oh, and straight into mount.
Oh, yep. Easy mount there. Nice.
I like that Rainey has on the MMA gloves though. I feel like not a lot of guys wore those early on.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't
Oh, and
even
he
notice
just got
that.
into half guard. Oh, and jumps right over the side. Yeah, I really like. I feel like all those Lions Den guys really flow well on the ground. I feel like that was one of the biggest surprises I had watching these events. A lot of stuff changed, but not much really. Like you see a lot of these same stuff today. Oh,
Oh,
nice
there we go.
bridge.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a really good escape there. He gets back to his feet. Ah, but he goes right back down. Oh, he wrapped that up
Oh,
quick. Nice, and he taps quick. Oh, that was dope. Really
and yeah,
slick.
this
Caught him.
was.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, back in the early days here, it was like if somebody took the back, the fight was over. You didn't see
Mm-hmm.
people get out of rear naked chokes. If somebody got your back, you were done for. That's
Yep.
so people actually like fighting the hands and getting out of rear naked chokes is like I mean, for people who are newer fans, that's like a kind of a newer thing in the sport. Really, it used to be lights out if somebody got your back, pretty much.
Yep. And even if the first choke didn't work, they're just gonna keep attacking until they do get it. That happened last week. Oh man, that is so tough. And then Severn was in his corner actually, which is pretty interesting because he's fighting later on tonight. Well, that night. No
I'm trying to
interview
see.
too. They just moved him
Yeah,
right
just
out.
out of here. I'm trying to see who I recognize in the Lions Den corner there. I saw Mikey Burnett. That might be Guy Mesger there. I'm not sure.
Hmm. Deep cuts, deep cuts. Could you give me some info on Mikey Burnett? Who is that? I have no clue.
Mikey Burnett. He fought in like the teens or so. He'll be coming up in just a few. I think he probably debuted around 16, 18, somewhere there. And then he actually fought on, was it the fourth season of The Ultimate Fighter? Was the one that was called The Comeback, where they brought in fighters that had fought in the UFC previously? He
Hmm.
fought on that season, but it was pretty clear that the game had kind of passed him by. I don't think he'd really been training. Like when they were working on some more updated techniques, he seemed like it was stuff he hadn't really seen before. And I think he was kind of just like, I'm gonna give this another try, but I don't think he really had kept up with the
it.
game too much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I know that there's actually someone in this new season of Tough, so crazy that it's still going on. But he also was in the UFC years ago as well, and I'm wondering if it's going to be the same kind of thing, like he's just picking it back up just cause.
Yeah, that was Rob McDonald, I think. Is that the guy you're talking about?
Yep, and
Heavyweight
he's
guy?
like
Yeah.
changed his name entirely to
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, he goes by like Bobby. I forget. It sounds like a radio DJ name or something, but yeah. And yeah, he's
Literally.
43 years old, trying to come back and do it again.
Yeah, there's no. Imagine he wins. That'll be crazy, dude. There's no way. I mean, heavyweight age is different than any other weight class,
Sure.
though. And Joe Rogan just finished up his first interview.
Why is the UFC in Dothan, Alabama? Because New York only allows street gangs to whip
Your
your
ass.
ass. So yeah, there's
That's
a little
a
reference
great
to them getting kicked out.
dude. How the hell did he get that printed? Literally the day before. Holy shit, Waleed Ismail. I
Now we
did
get to
not
see
know.
Waleed. Yeah.
Holy, I did not know he ever fought in the UFC. That is insane.
And I spoiler alert, but if I remember correctly, this fight is awful and long and boring. So I'm just if I'm remembering it right.
Even better, even better.
Yeah.
Oh, he still got that same exact look, dude.
This is the part where I'm most bummed out that we're not doing the sound, because they're interviewing Waleed Ismail right now, everybody. And I don't know if y'all are aware of Waleed Ismail, but he doesn't open his mouth unless something pretty wacky's going to come out.
The most intense manager on the scene right now. So I could only imagine how crazy this shit was. That is so crazy, dude. I did not expect. I didn't even know that. That's wild. I know he fought in Pride, but I didn't know he fought in UFC.
don't 100% remember, but I think this might be his only UFC fight. I can't remember for sure.
Yeah. Get it on, Coleman. Like, you see, there's a whole bunch of these guys bring posters. Like, I wish it was like that today. I feel like a little bit of that WWE element sort of left the sport over time, as it became more like a sport. But these, you could tell these dudes are crazy passionate.
Yeah, I saw somebody holding um Pancrase flag, like a flag with the Pancrase logo on it out there. That was kind of cool. I never noticed that before.
When I was considering doing, because obviously I try to get in as many promotions in the queue as possible. Like, I'm gonna be watching Bodog fights when I eventually get to that date when they made their debuts.
Cool.
But when I was looking back, I was like, dude, Pancrase goes back to like 92. Like, there's so much stuff there. But I when I was doing my research, it was very hard to find a lot of those fights. So I was like, let me not set myself up for failure here.
Yeah, I suppose.
Dude,
yeah, we are getting a lot of good crowd shots here.
Yeah, man. That upper balcony looks like pretty good seats too, like you were mentioning. What we were talking about off air, about the Pearl at the Palms a little bit. So the first fight with Jerry Bolander was also the lightweight tournament. Sorry about that. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Oh, it's all good. I was just going to say, besides going to actual UFC events at the Pearl at the Palms, I also went to a Hall of Fame ceremony there. And I was in the balcony, and there was an earthquake during the ceremony. And Rashad Evans was on stage talking at the time. And you can actually Google this and find it. I bet if you Google like Rashad Evans Hall of Fame earthquake or something, there's footage of him on stage speaking and then all of a sudden stopping and being like, whoa, is that an earthquake? And I was there and the balcony literally like shook. It was pretty wild.
That's crazy. I love the production too. They have none of this like bright flashing lights that they used to have back in the day. You could see production has aged in a very methodical way. They're trying to keep it as business as possible. But for the pay-per-views, something that I really like that they implemented, I think around like UFC 198, I think is when they started doing it, where they do they dim the lights and they bring in some yellow light and then they bring in the red for the red corner, blue for the blue corner. I really like that stuff, sort of changing up the way the production looks. Because honestly, I really hate what the UFC has sort of made their brand on nowadays. Like, I really don't like how they try to make all the events look the same and feel the same. I feel like it really takes away from a lot of the what made the event special, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's weird how in some ways they really embrace the kind of like pro wrestling pageantry and that kind of thing, but in other ways they don't, and I wish they would. Like I even when you go to, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Pride, but even when you go to some, if you go to like some little kind of local regional MMA show, a lot of times the fighters are walking out on a raised platform with like some sort of arch behind them and lights and stuff like that. And I wish the UFC would kind of do stuff like that more. I think that's cool. Or like when you watch Pride and there's kind of like a whole production with the fighters walking out and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's just, trying to keep from being compared too much to WWE that they don't lean into that. But I think some of that is cool.
Yeah, I agree, man. I know I never seen the events, but I've seen clips of like Tito Ortiz walking out and they have the pyro. Like, dude, that'll add so much. Like, imagine like just the things they could do. Like, for example, they brought it out with Conor versus Mendez, where originally it was supposed to be Conor versus Jose Aldo. They had performers there singing their walkout songs, and they did a lot to sort of make it look different. I feel like if they really leaned into that, it doesn't cost much more money, but you know how they are about saving.
Yeah,
shit, they barely pay their fighters to do that too.
Right.
But yeah,
okay, Takahashi's walking out with the Pancrase on his jacket there, the Pancrase logo. Okay, cool.
So, something that I noticed, the first fight was also in this lightweight division too. So, are they doing all the tournament bouts sort of back to back? I would hope so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to do the first round of lightweight, the first round of heavyweight, and then the finals of each. I'm not sure. I don't remember how they do it.
That's cool. Yeah, and it's half tournaments because there's two separate brackets, which is pretty cool. Usually we get the 3 fights in one night, so I guess it'll be 2, right? Yeah, 2.
So under the points they're listing for Takahashi's discipline, it said, now I forgot what I was going to say. It came off the screen. It said like evasive maneuvers or something like that.
And he's got on shoes and the MMA gloves. Powerful. Walid Ismail is just hairy as hell, just gorillaed up. You know, you love to see it. Look at him, just look at him go, dude.
He's one of the great characters of the sport of all time, you know, like for hardcore fans. I mean, more casual fans probably don't even know who he is, but for hardcore fans of the sport, Walid is like one of the great kind of underground characters, I think.
For sure. I can't think of another manager that gets me as fired up during interviews. Another one that's pretty good too is Yoel Romero's translator as well. I think his name is Ray. I just love the dynamic they have, and he has Walid, that is, he has that dynamic with everyone. Like he just brings sometimes, and I know a little bit of Portuguese. I humble myself. I learned through Duolingo. I know a little bit. So there's a lot of times where I'm listening to them speak, and he's not even saying anything remote to what they said. Like he's telling them, he's just hyping them up on his own, which is just pretty funny.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people say that what he says isn't what the fighter's saying. It looked like Takahashi had some staff or something on his shoulder there. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Good call. Keep a lookout, see if he gets fatigued. And we're live, baby. I love seeing Big John in these, man. It's so crazy that he was like the only ref for so long.
Yeah.
You don't see that often. Both guys in southpaw to start it off. Is that like the Bad Boy short, like the original Bad Boy short?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Takahashi and he just stopped by Kmart and grabbed some regular biker shorts.
I respect it. Yeah. Yeah. I respect all business. Oh, it looked like he hurt him a little there. In on a leg.
Oh, we got full Walid butt cheek here.
Hey, yo. Yes, sir. Straight grabbing the shorts. No fucks given. That happened at the last event too. I didn't mention it at all, but I was like, damn, like if he didn't have, I think it was Chemo. Yeah. I was like, if he didn't have another pair of like shorts under, his balls would have been on the broadcast for sure, dude.
Just holding the fence. Big John eventually decided, that's long enough.
Yeah, it was actually the last event at the second Ultimate that they made that a rule, and they're so bad at enforcing it, dude. Like they're so bad. There was multiple times during that event that he just doesn't even notice that someone's holding on to the fence.
Yeah.
Walid is determined to get this takedown. Look at him, just 2 hands hold.
It's gonna be
and he's slapping one of them, not even the other.
That's how you truly test your takedowns, is against the man with the double fence grab. That's how you find out how good you really are.
It's impossible, literally. I always wonder, like, I don't think nowadays, this doesn't, obviously it happens nowhere near as often, but I feel like instead of even considering a point deduction, because they never do that, why don't you just start them on the ground? Like if you see an egregious cage grab, why not just put them in that position as if they were taken down and then start them from there? I feel like that'll be a much more fair approach, because nobody gets docked points. Like, look at this. He's holding on 2 hands onto the fence multiple times and not getting, I'm pretty sure he's getting warnings, but his ass cheek is just still out, dude.
I was going to say, I feel like Big John could just break him for a second to let Walid put his ass cheek away and then restart
him. At this point, though, all restarts, they don't give a shit about position. They just start him back. Yeah, they're like, swang and bang, please. I feel like that was a focus, low key. He finally gets the takedown. And you see, like, really immediately trying to grapevine the legs. Like, people always like Khabib changed the game. Like, dudes have been doing that forever, dude. Of course, the way how consistent he is with it is his thing,
Yeah.
100%. But now they're
Yeah,
separated.
he's so good at getting to that immediately. But yeah, it's not like people haven't been using that technique forever.
Yeah, man. His back muscles explain it all. Like, that dude looks like he has a turtle shell on, like, at all times, dude. Probably looks exhausted already.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Oh, he got a nice check hook, Takahashi. Oh, that's hilarious. Waleed fell and he grabbed the fence. And as soon as he did, he complained to Big John, like, hey, look, he's grabbing the fence too.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand why he was okay. That makes sense. I was like, what was he pointing at?
It's like, you better tell him.
Yeah. Takahashi looks like he's got some of that telltale back knee going on there too.
Oh man. Good shout. Good shout. I feel like something just fell off the cage. Did you see that too? It's out of frame right now, but something fell into the cage. It looked like a piece of foam or something.
Waleed's boxing stance is so weird. He looks like he looks like the old classic like 1920s like boxing style his stance.
And he comes in with his chin so high up in the air, dude. Respect though, because he's gotten cracked a couple times and he's still trying to engage. I don't know why, but he's reminding me of like a mix right now between Merab Dvalishvili and Giga Chikadze. Like the way he looks, like the perfect mix of both of them. That's so funny. I love when people do that too. Like, they're not advancing at all, and then they take a step back and they're like, "Come on, you don't want to fight me, like, dude."
Yeah, this is the point at which, like, if this happened now, and maybe he is, I don't know, but the ref would be like warning them for timidity, I would think. I mean, they're literally just not doing anything. Okay, there we go.
And I love how he goes in to throw a punch and they cut to his corner man. Like, we don't even see what's happening. Like, oh man. Oh, I see that mark you're talking about now. Yeah, that looks pretty rough. Like, dude, give this guy a point already. But yeah, I know it's not happening.
He just smacked his arm hard there.
Yeah, Big John is hilarious, dude. He you could really see the police officer come out a lot in these early events, dude. Waleed is struggling to get these takedowns, man.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy exhausting to be trying to take down somebody who's holding the fence with both hands.
I mean, literally. What? You're doing so much to get nothing accomplished. There's no way you're gonna move them.
I wonder how far into this fight we are.
Yeah, I hate that they take off the clock. Like, just leave it up there. Yeah, this is a grind, dude. You definitely were right about this one.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting fight. Now Waleed's holding the cage too.
Yeah, they always do that from that position because you can't tell at all as a ref.
And then he's just
it's so funny. He's even fighting with Big John. Like, no, I need this. He's pulling both their arms off. This is hilarious. So you mentioned the back knee. Since there isn't much to talk about here, I just figured I'd get your opinion on this. A lot of red flags have come up with a lot of these same things about Usman. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to feed into these things. But that more plates, more dates video about him was really interesting to me. Like I feel like the theories on whether or not he's on something is look into it. I'm gonna pull Eddie Bravo. Look into it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was explaining, the back knee as well as just the way he changed from being sort of a grindy fighter that got tired at the end of 3-round fights to somebody who could fight all 5 rounds with a wrestling pace. Really interesting. Really interesting.
Takahashi had a nice ankle pick there. Takahashi in the guard now on top, rubbing his head, pushing his forehead into.
Yeah, just grimy, just grimy. You can see Walid's knees are all scraped up from the canvas too. Oh, big headbutt there.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed this, there's something like hanging out of Walid's shorts, I think. I don't know if his cup is like hanging out. There's something hanging out of his shorts. I hope we get another look at that. I can't tell what it is.
That little headbutt. He keeps throwing in the cheeky nodder. Yeah, Walid is not even trying to get up at all. Yeah, I think that is his cup for sure. Just hanging out the side. No big deal.
Yeah, I barely remember anything about this fight because I think I used to fast forward through this one when I would watch it because this fight's just not very fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not above it either. Like there's a lot of times where these are going on and I'm on the old 5-second skip, just skimming through until something happens. Because a lot of the times, especially in full guard like this, a lot of people just get complacent. The grind.
Because they weren't standing people up.
Yeah, at all. They will every now and then, but it'll take like at least 4+ minutes of absolutely not doing nothing before they even consider it. Walid's got a little cut now on the bridge of the nose. Yeah, I'm not saying this to talk shit, but Walid literally is not doing anything to try to get up or to try to change the position. Not even holding on either, just sort of taking what Takahashi's doing.
That's like he's closing his guard once in a while and wrapping his arms around him to try to keep him close, to keep him from striking once in a while, and that's about it. Otherwise, he's just chilling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that back knee.
Is that Susumu Nugao there taking pictures? It might be.
Powerful that you know who that is. I would have had no clue.
Yeah, he was like the MMA photographer for a long time, and he put out some MMA photography books and stuff. That was probably him. Yeah,
that's really cool. I gotta look into that. Speaking of MMA books, are there any that stick out to you? I bought the Fedor Emelianenko book, which is really cool, man. A lot of different coverage on different positions and things that he likes doing. Any books that stick out to you?
Yeah, I have a lot of MMA books, but I don't have a lot of them that are like the ones written by specific fighters. I really like the ones that are just about like the history of the sport and stuff like that. And the two that are my favorites are Clyde Gentry's No Holds Barred and Eric Krause's Brawl.
Nice.
Those are two that I've read a few times. I have Clyde Gentry has like republished his book with a slightly different cover and slightly different versions like 4 or 5 times, and I of course had to be a completist and buy every cover and every version.
Oh, but it's the same book.
Yeah, nice. I mean it's a little bit updated, but yeah, it's the same book.
So Takahashi ended up getting the win there. I couldn't tell if it was a tap or a stoppage. But yeah, man, Waleed was just done in that spot, not really doing much. Tough.
Got Leon Tabs working on him there.
They work on both corners, which is pretty hilarious. Got one cut man for both corners. I think he's talking to him about the fence grabs. He's like, yeah, but he's grabbing it too.
I think so, yeah. Well, he's probably like, make up your mind. Is it legal or isn't it? Because sometimes you're letting me do it for a long time and sometimes you're not.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to see who. I feel like this guy looks familiar too. You look at him screaming at Big John.
Is that Alon Goez? I think. I could be wrong. I think it's Alon Goez. He fought in Pride.
Yeah, they're pissed. They're pissed both ways. But you can't be mad if both of y'all are doing it, you know?
Oh, there's Eddie Goldman sitting back there. Are you familiar with Eddie Goldman at all?
No, not at all.
He hosted this podcast called No Holds Barred. He hosted the very first MMA podcast before the word podcast even existed, like the first MMA radio show, basically.
Shit.
Eddie Goldman, he was sitting in the back there.
Definitely gotta look into that. That's dope. Hey, so I'm a little confused right now. I wonder, are they gonna restart this? Because that's what
I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on either.
I love it. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna restart this. Holy shit.
Yeah, so, I don't know what just happened there.
Dude.
I wonder if this was a situation where the 15 minutes was up and they're doing a, because I know they
that makes sense. And then they 12 minutes and then a 3-minute overtime.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yep, they're doing that. Waleed is dead tired. He does not want to be in there.
Just standing up straight, looking at him.
He's like, I gotta at least act like a tough guy or something because I'm too tired to actually fight.
Yeah, you were 100% right. But the reason why I thought it was over because Takahashi celebrated as soon as he got up. But yeah, you were right. This is the overtime period now.
I totally forgot that they used to do this.
Oh, what just happened? He just called timeout. I'm so confused, dude.
I don't know what that was.
He cracked him and then called timeout for him. That's hilarious. Yeah, Takahashi, even though obviously he's also a part in it, you can't say it's just Waleed making this fight a stinker. But I feel like he definitely has the better hands out of the two for sure.
And he still looks reasonably fresh at this point too. I mean, he's tired, but he's not nearly as tired as Waleed.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's illegal as hell. And Big John doesn't say anything about it.
What time have you got on the screen right now, Christopher?
On the like the
on the
round time. Oh, yeah. 39:48.
Oh, mine just went off the screen. I was just trying to see if we were like synced up exactly
properly. Yeah.
Oh,
big right hand and a left that stood up Waleed. I think he feels that the cup is out. He like keeps on trying to touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 204, 205, 206.
Do you see that? We're only like a second off. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're only like a second off.
Yeah, Waleed just keeps getting cracked coming in whenever he throws a punch. He leaves himself wide open.
Oh.
Dude, the more tired he gets, it just looks more like Giga Chikadze to me. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Oh, that was a good one. Nice combination. I like how he's, is that his ear bleeding or something?
I think so.
I like that he was.
His eye.
Oh, damn. That's a big one. Did they start? Is that the end of the round? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 3-minute overtime is up. Yep.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Takahashi got that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's hype as hell.
Yeah, I got to give Waleed credit. He was dead tired, but he was trying to stay in there. You know, he just didn't have anything left.
Dude, no quit at all. Like respect
Yeah.
100%, no quit. And leaving himself open still to try to land. Like you got to give it to him. Like I feel like a big part of MMA now, like that people entirely overrate, is like casuals that don't watch often. They're like, this shit is boring. And I'm like, they're doing so much more than they used
Yeah.
to. Trust me, they're doing so much more than before. Because there's a lot of good fights in this era. Don't get me wrong, but the amount of action, the amount of like, I know the way I try to sort of talk about the different things that are happening in the round. If I try to do that with modern fights, like I'm gonna be here for hours, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Takahashi gets the decision. So it looks like we're getting Jerry Bolander versus Takahashi in the lightweight final. Should be interesting if no injuries come through. But yeah, he looks exhausted too. That staff coming into play. Oh, they're announcing it now. We still don't know. I love the way they used to do this too. Like, I imagine they did this today. Like, they show the rest full on with the with the poster just
Yeah.
holding it up.
That's crazy. And it's literally just a whiteboard that they write on.
I think the first time it was a fucking paper plate with Sharpie, and he just picked it up.
I don't even remember
Hilarious.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Takahashi
Yep.
got this.
Yep.
Yeah.
All three judges write Takahashi on their whiteboards.
In the respect, that's one of my favorite parts about the sport too. Like a lot of people try to be quick to say, you know, these people are barbaric, but always after the fights, you know, always showing respect. I love that.
I think that's one of the things that's weirdest to see for people who don't watch the sport. Like the first time they watch MMA and they're like, wait a minute, why are they like hugging each other and stuff now? Like, because they're literally just competing in a sport together, and it's a sport that happens to include violence. They're just they're out there playing their game. It doesn't mean they hate each other or something, you know.
For sure, for sure. Even those fights where they do have that animosity coming in, after most good fights, you know, you got to show that respect anyway. You
Yep.
sort of gain it through the fight.
Yeah, it's almost always either gone or at least not shown when the fight is over. They're usually just because once you've gone through, it's like somebody who's gone through like hazing to get into a frat or something. Like only these people know what I went through or whatever. Like, yeah, once you've gone through that with another human being, it's like probably pretty hard to keep that animosity.
For sure. Yep. So we got Jerry Bolander at Takahashi in the final. Um, let's preview this matchup a little bit now that we got some time. Because I know you saw it already, but just based on what we saw so far, I got to think Bolander has the advantage on the ground, but on the feet, Takahashi could try to catch him coming in.
Yeah, good point. And I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm just going to.
You're good. You're good. Definitely try to remember later, though, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure they're asking Ken Shamrock about his teammate now. It looks like he's there all night, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah.
Just the largest tweed jacket that you can ever find.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool watching this now. I mean, I haven't watched these old events in quite a few years, and like I know who a lot more. Like before, when I watched this 15 years ago, I wouldn't have known who Eddie Goldman was, or like, you know, it's cool to I can recognize more people now.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we're seeing the heavyweight tournament bracket.
Nice. They're giving him the time to rest too, which is so crazy to me. I'll never forget that time that Don Fry literally fought like twice in the span of 20 minutes. And I'm like, how the hell did they not have a fight to like have a little buffer here to give him some more time? It's crazy. And he still won too, so respect. Man, Vitor's debut. I can't believe this guy is going to be even more jacked than Ken Shamrock. I could imagine.
And yeah, he's only 19 years old here.
That's insane, dude.
Now, I specifically remember. So this happened. This event was in 1997, which was the year I graduated high school. There was this dude who worked at my school. I don't know if he was like a counselor or something who was kind of into UFC, and he had pay-per-view capability at his house. He recorded this event, and he can't, because me and a bunch of my friends were all like karate nerds. We were like all into martial arts and stuff, and we're interested in UFC. And he brought us the videotape of this. And I remember him saying, there's a 19-year-old kid in this event, and I tell you what, keep that kid away from me. Like, I specifically remember that moment in 1997 of him like warning us about Vitor as he gave us the tape. So okay, they're interviewing Jim Mullen right here. This is a funny interview because I think this is the part where Jim Mullen says, I went and talked to a psychic before this event, and the psychic said they saw me winning.
That's great. That is great. Yeah. That is so 1990s, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this matchup, by the way, is Jim Mullen versus Scott Ferozzo. Since Scott Ferozzo made his UFC debut, that guy's a fucking dog, man, and he likes to talk too. Like in that last event, they had him on the broadcast, and he was talking so much shit about Tank Abbott, and he's like not even in the tournament. Like he's like, he's lucky I'm not in there. He wouldn't have made it to the finals. I'm like, this dude. That's hilarious. Dude got his corner man just pulling his shirt off for him.
Oh, 16-1 as a pro kickboxer, it says for Jim Mullen.
Knockout capabilities. Doesn't everyone have those?
Yeah. We don't think it's likely, but he's capable. Yeah, Scott Ferozzo is a Minnesota boy. I'm a Minnesota boy myself, so I always remembered him from back in the day. I always thought it was cool that he was in there. And yeah, Scott Ferozzo and Tank Abbott went on to fight again, literally at a backyard barbecue. Maybe I don't know how many years ago. Did you see this video at all?
No, I didn't. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, their rivalry continued forever and ever, and they fought. I mean, I'm gonna say it was at some point in the last, probably less than 10 years ago, but more than 5 years ago. I'm just guessing here, but yeah, there's a video out there of them literally just like street clothes throwing down at a backyard barbecue because they felt like they still needed to settle that beef.
Kimbo Slice style. That's crazy, yep. Dude. That's crazy. RIP to Kimbo, man.
Mm-hmm. Shakopee, Minnesota.
What is this?
The original pit bull. He's the original pit bull too.
There's cool. Too many pit bulls to even try to list. It's fucking crazy. Back for more, his shirt says. That's hilarious.
Ring deadly, street lethal, it says for Scott Ferozzo. You gotta like that.
Anything goes. What does that mean? That's hilarious. And what is pit fighting? Like, I always wondered that.
I think it was kind of just made up, to be honest with you.
For sure.
I don't think.
Scott Ferozzo, 323, 5'11", and Jim Mullins, 215, 6'1". Is it Jim? I just want to make sure I'm getting that right.
Yep.
Cool. And look, they got Tank on the commentary too.
Yep.
That's a surprise. That was actually one of the things that I actually did some research on to find out why he got suspended. That whole story with Big John is nuts.
Oh, was that the thing with something with Big John's wife or whatever?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, I remember that a little bit.
Yeah, at that Puerto Rico event, apparently there was something going on like on the side with another coach of a fighter that was there, and Tank's wife was telling Tank basically to like start a brawl, like trying to get them to fight. And Big John's wife was getting annoyed and saying like, what are y'all doing? Like, calm the hell down. And then he threatened to kill her. And then obviously Big John has no idea. He's doing his thing. He's reffing, but he finds out later. And he apparently told the UFC, like, if he's fighting here, that I will never ref another fight for you again. So that's why they suspended him, to sort of keep them away, and they forced him to write an apology to them, which is pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I remembered that something had happened there, but I couldn't remember the details. That's cool. They just showed Andy Anderson in the background there.
Who's
I can't
that?
Remember. I can't. He must be coming up in just a few events here. He fights Big John Hess in the UFC. Big John Hess was the first opponent that Vitor ever fought professionally. It was his one fight that he had before this UFC fight. Mm-hmm. And Andy Anderson was also notable for owning a topless steakhouse in Texas.
Oh, I feel like I heard about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun to just look in the background and see
who's there. Yeah, I do that now, even like on live events. Like it's always fun to notice who's out there in the crowd.
And yeah, I've been at live events where I've seen somebody from the production team. I'm giving you a little peek behind the curtain here. I've seen somebody from the production team will grab one fighter and have them come sit next to another fighter. So sometimes when you're seeing two fighters sitting next to each other, they're not actually sitting together. They'll bring them together so that they can show them on camera, and then they'll go back to their seats again.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always that way, but I've seen that happen before.
I love too when they're highlighting one guy and there's clearly 4 UFC fighters around them, but they don't even talk about them. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I show Michelle Waterson some respect back there. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jim Mullen. I hope the psychic was right for your sake, sir.
Your sake, sir. I mean, there's nothing that gets me more pissed off than seeing these dudes come out with the straight black Speedo, some black knee guards and sneakers. Like, you were watching WWE for sure and thought that was the way. Scott Ferozzo got a tat in between fights. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a pit bull.
It's a shitty tattoo as well.
It is.
I just gotta say that. Interesting that he's not mean mugging Mullen right now. I feel like that's his thing.
Yeah, that is a pretty awful tattoo. Happy birthday, Irene.
Shout out to Irene. Oregon, New York, Alabama. That makes sense. Damn, so she was
because they
everywhere.
They tried to, when they first found out it had to be moved out of New York, they tried to do it in Oregon first, and then that didn't work, and they ended up having to go to Alabama.
Damn, that is so crazy. Thank you for that nugget, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, he caught him with an uppercut. Is he tapping? It looked like a tap there. No. Yeah, he's tapping. Dude, that's crazy. Big John's letting it go.
When you've got that size advantage on somebody, you don't really need to bring any technique to bear. Just rush them like that. I mean, what's the dude gonna do, right?
Literally. Oh man, those knees to the balls always kill me when I'm watching these events, dude. Oh.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Ferozzo's actual like training background is or anything like that. I mean, obviously he's a gigantic dude, but I mean, he can crack, he can throw, and he throws decent punches, you know?
For sure, man. I said it on that podcast and I'll say it again. I feel like even though there was a lot of times where it was a slog, oh shit, yeah, they're going to war right now.
Oh,
big shots,
big uppercuts.
That fight against Tank Abbott was fucking nuts, dude. I feel like that was one of the best fights up to this point.
Yeah. And yeah, just look at Ferozzo's physique. I mean, his back is like twice as wide as the rest of his body.
Like with that camera angle, you can't even see poor Jim Mullen. All you see is Ferozzo. And he had him in the same front headlock for over a minute now, just wearing on him. That's tough. It's not even a choke though. Like, it's not even a choke.
He's just kind of holding him.
Yeah, and Mullins got his hand in there too, which helps. Oh, like a sneaky knee right there. Try to get it up to the chin. Only hit the chest though. I gotta say, I like the all black though. Shout out to Scott Ferrozo, the evolution. When he first came into the UFC, this man was wearing a singlet. I'm like, why? Like it's not holding anything in. Just go with the all blacks. What are those spats? That's what you call them, spats.
Yeah.
Oh, knee to the head on the ground, big shots. That psychic didn't see this coming.
No, Mullins hanging in there. I mean, he's not getting anything done, but damn.
Yeah, man, just getting grated up against that fence.
Yeah.
I feel like these fences had so much more give now than they do now.
This is like the beginning of a movie where the narrator says, "You're probably wondering how I ended up here," or whatever.
Literally, just getting bombed on.
Yeah.
And I love that the cameramen do silly shit, like just look at their hand. They go straight to their hand, just a close up of them holding the fence. Like, why? What does that add to the production right now?
The cameraman is like, "I am an artist, damn it."
Trust me, I know what that's like, dude. That is so true. They're like, I'll do it the way you're telling me, but let me do this first. Let me do this way first. Oh, nasty knees. Yeah, you got to stop that, Big John. Big John thought about it. Oh, man. Those elbows. Oh, man. Yeah,
whoa! All right,
does you no favors. Nice get up there for Mullen.
Gets up.
Someone's bleeding. Yeah, it looks like Mullins knows. Here comes a big takedown. Oh, nice slam. Try to hold on to the top of the fence there and still couldn't.
Ferrozo's we're not even mean. 5 minutes into this fight.
Yeah, he's just mean, dude. Driving his head into his chin. Now you got the forearm across the neck. That's such a bad spot to be in, man.
Yeah.
Something that I find so crazy now, though, in the UFC, whenever someone's in this spot, they're immediately trying to wall walk. Here is just like, you're fucked. Like, whenever you get here, back in the day, you're just stuck.
Yeah, I mean, big ups to Mullen for not tapping at this point. It's like, what is that Becky Levi?
Oh man, trying to get that forearm choke going. Yeah, I agree, man. So many times that's happened where guys just are like, you got it, and I respect it. Like, I respect it, but he's trying to stay in it.
Yeah, because I mean, he literally has not had a split second of offense. I mean, nothing. Literally, and he's, how do you not feel like it's like, it's over, it's done at this point?
You got it. You got it. Yeah, literally.
There we go. Threw a couple punches from the bottom. I think it's like the first strikes he's throwing the whole fight.
And just getting posted on, man, by a 300-pound dude, just not the place you want to be in. That is tough, man. You could tell Scott's trying to go for that forearm choke, but Not quite getting the leverage. Just spit the mouthpiece out. Get as much air as you can. Random ass question. I hope this doesn't jump in and we get another stoppage or something. But do you do any live betting?
I sort of. I do keep an eye on it, but I don't end up pulling the trigger on stuff very often. I do keep an eye on the live betting and I'm watching it and stuff, but it's definitely not an area where I feel super comfortable yet. I actually just got a book where I could do live betting maybe 2 months ago or something, so it's still something where I'm kind of like, I sit and watch it and I'm like, oh, should I and I just kind of like, I just don't, I feel sort of weird about it still, like.
Yeah, I feel you.
But in theory, I'd like to, because I know a lot of people that's really where they butter their bread, is on the live betting more so than the pre-fight betting. So I'd like to get more comfortable with that and better with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you were live betting this one, you gotta try to throw a flyer on Jim Mullen. He's probably like plus 20,000 at this point.
Yeah.
Oh man, so they stopped it to work on the cut. He got a really nasty cut and a big swelling over that left eye.
Yeah, that eye looks rough. That's ugly.
And a terrible spot too for that. Let me shine the light in there.
This must be in the days of Dr. Richard Istrico.
Powerful.
I think was the ringside doctor for a long time.
But even now, no quit. You could tell he's trying to get them to keep the fight going.
Yeah, it's insane. That's awesome.
Get that man his mouthpiece back. He knows what the psychic saw. It's not over yet. They're just leaving the mouthpiece on the floor. You see that, right?
Are they? I didn't even notice.
Holy fuck. I hope they're grabbing it right now.
Oh, yep,
yeah, there we go. There we go. I was about to say, you want this man to lose all his teeth. All right. Back into it. Ferozo's on the back foot now, man. I'm telling you. Oh, man.
Oh, Mullen tries to go with
spinning back
fist. Oh, he's just trying. Okay,
yeah,
that's enough
over.
of that.
That's over. Oh, that's tough to watch. Big finish for Scott Ferozo, though, with some grounded knees. That is horrible, dude. Even Big John is like, dude, you all right? Are you okay, bro? Holy shit. Yeah, just dominant. One-sided fight for Scott Ferozo. And it helps that he gets the final in between the rest too. I feel like that's a big X factor. Because a lot of guys didn't have that early on. In most of his if I'm correct, in all of his UFC appearances, he's only fought once. Like even if he's won, he doesn't end up going through the next round because of fatigue or injuries in between.
He does today. He's gonna fight twice today.
Good to know. Good to know.
Shakopee, Minnesota.
There we go.
Hi, Logan.
Hi, Logan. Shout out the boy. Yo, that's the same family too. Like they have a whole bunch of cue cards. And he's telling them he's good. As good as you can be. Shit, that was rough.
Yeah.
Oh, it landed a nice shot there, but definitely one-sided for Scott Ferozo.
But yeah, what a tough dude. I mean, you come in there not even really knowing what you're in for. You get matched up with that guy and you have, I mean, don't even get a chance to show anything really. And like, yeah, I mean, damn.
And every opportunity, like you said, he could have took the out at any point, and he didn't want it at all. Yeah, but this finish was freaking brutal, man. Brutal. The worst part about that is the way he posted on him with the knee after that first knee. Like I know that was terrible.
And he wasn't even rocked or anything really. Like as soon as they stopped the fight, I mean, Mullen was clear-eyed, and like that's
Yeah, for sure.
crazy.
I didn't even notice my whole camera shifted. Sorry about that.
There we go. Now we
Vitor
got
Belfort, Trey
Yep.
Teligman. Dude, Vitor's face looks huge. What the hell?
Yeah.
Just peak HGH. You could tell. That is crazy. This is his UFC debut, right? Teligman?
Yep. Or for Teligman? Yeah, I think it is for Teligman too.
I'm pretty sure he fights a couple more times. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was around for a while. I think I think he was an early Lions Den guy too, if I remember correctly.
The tracksuit. You're right. Yeah, the tracksuit.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Trey Teligman, that you're in for a surprise when he takes his shirt off. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Sneaky looks like Stephan Bonnar too.
He does a little bit, doesn't he? Yeah, I think that's the Sumu Nagao right there taking pictures on the side of that's cool.
Holy shit. What the hell? Do you know the story on that?
If I remember correctly, he was in a car accident or something when he was a baby. And or maybe not a baby, but a kid. I don't remember the details for sure, but yeah, it was some kind of surgery that he had where they actually had to like remove his entire pectoral muscle. I think, if I remember correctly.
Insane, dude. I would not want to fight that dude. It's like a mutant. Joint locks, chokeholds, takedowns, ground game.
And yeah, ironically enough, Trey Teligman's nickname is Trauma, which I always thought was kind of.
Oh, yeah, just an abode to his whole. Look at the Ultra Man just pounding on the globe. You love to see it. UFC 3 flashback. Powerful. It's so crazy how much weight Chemo lost, dude. In that Ultimate, dude was like half the size he is here.
Yeah, he came in like 25 pounds lighter, or 30 pounds or something, didn't he?
Yeah. This fight was really good too. I was surprised how well he did, especially at that time. Nobody was doing anything against Royce at that time. I really wish Royce came back, man. I feel like after like guys like Severn, even Taktarov, like I would have loved to seen those fights, man.
That footage they're showing right there, that's Vitor versus John Hess.
Oh man,
John Hess is the guy that Andy Anderson later fights in the UFC.
And just pounded him out. Dude, Vitor doesn't even look like the same man, dude. That's insane. And he already has so much cauliflower ear, dude. At 19. Hey man, people say it's not easy to make money in this fight game. Vitor bought himself a set of teeth. I could tell he bought himself a set of teeth. Man, that looks so crazy. Vitor coming out in the gi. Powerful. Carlson Gracie.
Yeah, Vitor actually billed himself as Vitor Gracie early in his career.
He's not related at all.
God, and his physique already at 19. Insane.
Keep that 19-year-old guy away from me. Yeah. Hilarious.
Keep that kid away. Yep.
Brazilian competition. That's his discipline. Strikes, strangulation, submission, a little bit of everything geared to groundwork.
And I love that jiu-jitsu is spelled wrong on the graphic.
That's hilarious. Yeah. the old JUI. Vitor Belfort, 19, 6 foot, 205. He does not look 205. And Trey Teligman, 32, 233, and 6'2". Dude, I'm pumped. I'm shook right now because I know this is about
Yeah.
to be crazy, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's got one good ear.
Oh,
Vitor's
really? I
right.
didn't notice that.
Vitor's right here. Yeah, Vitor's right here look normal. Yeah, that's Eddie Goldman right in the back there. I think the guy with the really thick glasses behind the
Mhm.
announcer there on the right side. Yeah, I think that's him.
Yeah, I've seen him in other events too. It's funny that you mention it. That looks so crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, he weighed in at 233, but I mean, really, that's a 240-pound man with,
Yeah,
8 pounds
with the
pulled
proper
off.
muscle. Just checked. It looked like he might have some staff too. You see that on his chest
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and on the neck too. That's crazy. Or maybe he just had some action last night. Got a couple
Yeah.
bite marks. Dude, even here, dude looks like a grown man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Vitor was pretty much my first, like, I mean, I suppose Hoist Gracie was probably like my first favorite fighter, really, but Vitor was the first dude that I was like all about. All right, here we go. It's underway.
Vito's out in orthodox. I mean, southpaw. Trey's in the orthodox. Quick flurry of punches there. Now trying to go for a takedown. Oh,
Those hands just
so freaking
relentless.
quick, dude. Oh, he dropped him. You said just relentless. I think he already opened up a cut.
Yeah, he's already bleeding. Yep.
Pin in the leg here. Oh, brutal.
Oh, Vitor's coming with those elbows to the side of the head.
Trying to block him as best as he can. But what he's at?
He's like,
He tapped. That's crazy, dude. Was he out?
I'm not sure.
Holy
I don't know what he was telling.
shit! What a debut for Vitor Belfort.
Yeah, that's
God
that.
damn.
Got blood all over his elbow.
And looks like that's it. Damn. Hey, yo. Just kiss that grown man in the mouth. No issues. Oh no, he's came to at this point, but it looked like he was out at the end of that.
Did Teligman tap there? Did you say you saw him tap?
It looks like that's what he was saying to Big John, but I didn't
Oh,
see a tap
okay.
either. I didn't see a tap.
No, I didn't either. Just it said finished by submission on the screen, but they called whatever I feel like in these
At the
older events.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Even Tapology is a little wonky sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing for me, like my biggest peeve, has been the bout orders because a lot of times I try to put in the names into. I have this document. I'll send it to you after, just so you could see how I keep things together for these events. But I always try to put the names up there, and a lot of times they have the bouts in weird orders. Like it's nowhere near the order which it happened live, which
Sure.
sucks because then I got to scroll through and I see some people who won and stuff. It's garbage. Oh yeah. He tapped on his shoulder, I guess. Well, underneath his armpit.
Vitor just 19 years old, looking like another day at the office,
No big
wandering around
deal.
like that's
Yeah.
what I do.
Crazy. And the fact that this dude fought, so he was what, like 42? And I think he's still trying to fight, which is insane.
well, yeah, wasn't he gonna box or something? I can't remember
Yeah.
what he last said. But yeah, like what I mean, he's one of those dudes like once you get to that point of your life and that's been your life, like what else does he know? What else has he, that's been
Mhm.
his life, man. Like,
That is so true, man.
I mean, I'm sure he's got plenty of money, I mean, his isn't his wife like pretty famous in Brazil and stuff? She was like a
Mhm.
model. I mean, I'm sure she's got, as a family, I'm sure they're pretty
They're
well off.
set. Yeah, they're pretty set.
Yeah.
He's another guy that got a crazy story too. I don't know the exact details, but I know I think one of his sisters got kidnapped and like for
Yep.
ransom because of the kind of
Yep.
profile he had over there. Brazil's fucking nuts, man.
Yep. Yeah, I dated a girl from Brazil for a few years. I've actually been to Sao Paulo a couple times. It's a different world for sure.
Mm, powerful Jeff
Yeah, I think
Blatnick.
I actually got to meet Jeff Blatnick briefly at UFC 26.
Nice. That's really cool. So you were
Yeah.
close up.
Yeah. Well, and I was staying in the same hotel that all the fighters were staying in and stuff. So I got to
Nice.
kind of rub elbows with a lot of. I have a video on my YouTube channel. If you go to Eric Betts Fights on YouTube, I have a video called "The 5 Weirdest Things I Did as an MMA Fan in the '90s." It's a clickbaity headline, I know, but and I tell stories about just kind of some MMA stuff from back then, but I tell some stories about going to UFC 26. That was pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta check that out for sure.
And there's a bunch of pictures. I put a bunch of pictures up on screen of fighters I got pictures with there and stuff. So
That's so cool.
pretty
You
rad.
got bigger balls than me. I swear. When I saw DC, like I literally didn't believe it. Like I was like, like it kind of trips your brain out. I feel like even talking to you on the Zoom today, like I've heard your voice so many times, and then seeing you talk, I'm like, this is so weird, like so
Yeah.
surreal.
I'm terrible too. Like I've had a lot of opportunities to like talk to a fighter and get a picture and stuff that I haven't taken because I get really shy in those moments. I'm always like, they don't want me to bother them. They're just trying to live life, I walked right past like Vitor is probably my favorite fighter ever, and I walked right past Vitor once, and I kind of kicked myself for it because I was just like, just leave him alone. I didn't say anything.
I feel you. I feel you. It's either I'm too scared, or when I do say, I don't even ask for a picture because I don't want to put them in that spot. Like
Yeah.
I saw Claudia Gadelha in the mall right next to the Barclays, right before I went in to watch that event, and I was just like, "You're gonna be champ one day." That's all I had the balls to say, and she was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so crazy that she retired so young.
Mm-hmm.
Respect making that move. You gotta put your health first for sure. Mark Coleman. So is the featured fight up now, and then the finals will be after, I guess.
Must be, huh?
Yeah, man. Mark Coleman, Dan Severn. I've been wanting this fight since Mark Coleman made his debut. Man, I feel like
Yeah.
this is the one they needed to make.
Yeah, Mark Coleman was the first UFC fighter I ever met in person. When I went to UFC 26, when we walked into the hotel, and it was me, my girlfriend, and my buddy that came with me, and we're like checking into the hotel, and I'm just kind of like looking around, and Mark Coleman is standing just right there in the lobby, and I was like, holy shit, that's Mark Coleman. And my girlfriend was like, I'll finish checking in. Go do your thing. And I just like I felt so awkward, but I just walked over and I was like, hey. So yeah, if you watch that video, I got my picture with Mark Coleman on there.
Awesome. I gotta
That was,
check that out.
yeah.
That dude's a fucking unit, bro.
Yeah.
He was much bigger than you, right?
Yeah.
Just the most
He was
homoerotic
very
video shot.
yeah,
Sorry about that. What were
Coleman
you
was
saying?
very Coleman was very soft, just soft spoken and unassuming, just kind of, just kind of talked quiet and just kind of like, I mean, he didn't have a big like presence, he's just kind of chill. Like I think that's really cool.
Yeah, man, me too. You could tell he's like that too in the interviews that he does with the UFC. He's like, yeah, I just want to show my skills. That's how he is. Underrated. This guy's takedowns. Everyone always talks about. Yeah, I love this moment, dude. This is so crazy. I wonder why he's talking about Tank though. Yeah, damn you, copyright. I would have loved to hear what these guys had to say. These little spots.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and watch this event again, huh?
Hmm.
Now I want to go back and watch it again now too with the sound. God, he looks so young. It's crazy.
Hmm.
I suppose he must only be, I mean, he must have been what, 32, 33 or something when he
At the
debuted.
time,
I'm not,
yep.
I'm kind of just guessing, but right around there, yeah.
And he fought on to he was like 40 something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so crazy when I saw that. I saw the clip of him bringing his daughters into the ring after he fought Fedor, and they're grown as they're grown women now. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Time freaking flies.
There's Rogan again.
The powerful. He got that Spotify bag and still didn't fix those teeth. I respect it, dude. I respect it.
That I think that was Mark Coleman's wife that they were showing there. She that lady was familiar to me. I'm not.
Makes
I think that's
sense.
who it was. This is
Makes
so
sense.
right. You see the bracket there. That's the part where I didn't want to. I didn't want to spoil it. That Takahashi is not actually fighting
Oh
in the
man.
finals.
Do you know why?
I don't. I don't remember. No.
Sanzo. I feel like that name looks familiar too.
And yeah, I think Jerry Bolander's only 22 years older, so here as
Holy
well.
shit.
He's really young too, I think.
He looks like a grown man. He looks like he's like 30 something already. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's Frank Shamrock walking out with him there.
Yep. Can't wait to see him fight too.
I met Frank briefly at an IFL event in like 2006 in Iowa.
Dude, that's a throwback. What were some of the biggest name fighters that fight in IFL? Wasn't Ben Rothwell at one point in the
Yep.
IFL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy to look back now through look at some of the rosters on those IFL events because there's a lot of dudes that went on to fight in the UFC later and made more of a name for themselves. But yeah, I think Rothwell. I think he was like a. I'm trying to remember how IFL worked. If they even had like, I think Rothwell was the IFL heavyweight champion. I'm trying to remember how the
That
organization
worked
was even structured exactly. If they actually had champions like that and stuff, I
because it
can't
was
even
like
remember.
teams, right? Like it was like a sport
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The event that I went to was in the Quad Cities in Iowa, and I made a big poster that said like I lived in Fargo, North Dakota at the time, and it said like I drove from Fargo, North Dakota to cheer on the Silverbacks because that was the local Iowa team there, and I like traced the big logo of the Silverbacks and stuff.
That's so dope. Nick Sanzo. I'm pretty sure he had an alternate fight earlier. I hate that they take those off the broadcast, dude. Like imagine now if all the prelim fights you just can't find. Like
Yeah,
how the hell? You can't tell me they weren't recorded. Like everything was there. You had to record them. Why not just post them? Because they're not even on. It's not even like you could search them on Fight Pass. Nothing.
yeah, and yeah, these and I used to watch them on the VHS and DVD and stuff, and they didn't have the they spelled jujitsu on the screen wrong again, but yeah, they didn't have those dark matches, the prelims. So there's a lot of those alternate fights and stuff that I've never seen.
Jerry Bolander 5'11", 199. Nick Sanzo 5'9", 190. Yeah, only 22. You're right. Holy shit.
And Nick Sanzo coming in with the discipline of jiu-jitsu.
The jiu-jitsu with the weirdo Punisher tat. That guy behind the announcer looked like he could be Jeff Platnick's dad.
Bolander looking stoic and ready. Have you ever read that book Inside the Lion's Den?
No, I haven't.
That old ass. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard the stories, but I want to read that for sure.
I think that was the first. I mean, that was the first kind of like big publisher like MMA book that ever came out that I'm aware of anyway. I think I don't even remember when that book came out, but I'm pretty sure it would have been like 98, 99, something like that, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And that makes sense because at that point they were probably open for at least 5 or 6 years. Shamrock was fighting at a pancrase that way back when.
Sanzo shoots in.
That's interesting. I've never seen that, crossing the legs with the sprawl. He's just lifting them too. Good knees. Yeah, Bolander loves this front headlock position in all his fights. Wow, nice.
Just tapped him with that crucifix. That was wild.
That's crazy. You don't see that.
A buddy of mine named Mitch Rosland fought an extreme challenge in probably like, I don't know, 99, 2000, something like that. And he tapped a dude out with a crucifix like that.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, I just thought it was so cool that like, because that never happens. It's like a dude that I know actually got a crucifix finish in extreme challenge.
That's so crazy. Yeah, 35 seconds he got the submission. That is crazy. I'm stunned, dude. If you didn't call it what it is, because yeah, it makes sense. I would have been like, what the fuck was that?
Well, yeah, and because
isn't it considered like a half or full Nelson or some shit like that?
I'm not really sure, because yeah, you usually hear crucifix used for that, more so that position where the person on top is inside control and like controls the arm. But yeah, I think there's probably another name for what he just did there, but I know a crucifix is what it was usually called.
Mm-hmm.
It ends up being kind of a can opener choke in a way, I guess. But done, and that's kind of how it ends up. I think it's just like a strangulation, kind of pushing
the crown of the head
forward. Yeah, like
that makes sense. When I first looked at it, I thought it was the arm. Oh, I just paused it by accident. So first UFC lightweight champion. That's so funny to look at. Technically, 205 would be the closest, but crazy.
And they gave him a medal. Did they give him a belt? I didn't
Nope. No belt, just a medal. Super strange. Oh man, I wish I could hear Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I wonder who that giant dude is next to him. Did you see that huge dude? I don't know who that was.
With the Ultraman little octagon on his chest. Super quick finish. You love to see it. Damn, that's
Pete Williams there too.
Great call. Great call.
What's Ken talking about, Christopher?
Oh, you already know he's pumping up his boy right now.
Yep.
I always whip his ass in the training room, but he got it done tonight.
That old lady behind his shoulder there does not look like she's happy to be there
at all. Dude's messing with her, just patting the head. She just looked at him too. I definitely like that they separated the tournaments, but I feel like the 2-round tournament kind of sucks. Like,
yeah.
especially when it
It's
plays out like that.
anticlimactic. Like, yeah, it doesn't. It's like you feel like once it by the time it gets going, it's done. Sort of like.
Yeah, I think Vitor's next, and then the Coleman Severn fight is the main event.
Yeah, that jacket is really something else.
Yeah, man. You will find that in thrift stores across America.
Yeah.
I promise. Scott Ferozzo, Vitor Belfort. I've seen clips of this fight actually, so I know it happens, but I'm still hyped to see it play out. Crazy. And it's so weird too, because as I'm watching these events, I saw those clips before I knew who Scott Ferozzo was.
Sure.
So now I'm like, oh man.
I feel like I looked up what Scott Ferozzo is up to nowadays, and now I can't remember. I feel it's fun sometimes to look up. Like I looked up, I found the website for. I hope I'm remembering this right. I think it was Mark Kerr works for a car dealership, and I found the website for like his like page or whatever, like if you wanted to like buy a car from him or whatever. I think it was Mark Kerr. I might be remembering wrong, but it's crazy to just kind of look up some of these dudes and see what they're up to.
For sure. And they keep shouting out the heavyweight championship later. So that, yeah, how does that work? Because you're giving them the title, but then there's a heavyweight tournament. Weird.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, because I suppose that's why they didn't give him a belt and just gave him the medal. I suppose is because they're just like a tournament winner, not technically a champion. I suppose is how they're treating it. Okay, that makes sense. That's why Becky Levi was there. Yeah, I forgot that Dan Severn was fighting. Yeah, that was Becky Levi that they were showing in the background there, I think.
Is that his wife?
No, she was like kind of like the original like women's MMA pioneer, at least in America. She had a really hard time finding fights because she weighed like 200 pounds, but she was I'm not really sure exactly what her connection was to Dan Severn, but they used to run a promotion together called Danger Zone, where they were like the promoters and matchmakers or whatever. But they ran like wrestling camps together and stuff, I think.
That's a powerful name, I'm not gonna lie, for a fight promotion.
Yeah.
Just as cringe as possible. That's what you got to do. So I'm curious, besides obviously the VHS and stuff, what first got you into MMA while we got some time here?
I was always a big martial arts nerd. I was always, I grew up like in the 80s and 90s during the big like ninja boom when like ninjas were a super big thing. And so I was always super into ninjas and super into karate. I started training karate pretty young and was just like, martial arts was always my obsession. And so I was first introduced to MMA, seeing it in like a black belt magazine or whatever. I remember seeing an ad and it just said like kickboxing, karate, judo, whatever. And I was just like, all people from all of these different disciplines are going to be fighting each other. And the idea, I was just like blown away. So like I literally was obsessed with MMA before I even saw it, because I just read about the concept, and I tore that ad out of a magazine and hung it on my wall when I was a kid. And then my buddy and I that I was in karate with, we found UFC 2 on VHS at the video store in my hometown in probably 1994 or thereabouts, and rented it. And then it was the rest, as they say, is history. From that moment on, I've just been obsessed with mixed martial arts.
That is so cool, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a sports guy besides combat sports?
No.
Not at all. Nice. Yeah, it takes up way too much.
Yeah.
It takes up way too much. I don't know how I'm able to do it, to be honest. A lot of it is recaps, because I watch all the MMA stuff live. A lot of the other sports I can't even do it. It's just too much going on at once.
Yeah, I'm kind of weird in that, like, not only do I not watch any other sports, this is sad to admit, I guess, but I don't even really have any other interests or hobbies. I'm an MMA guy, and that's all I am, and all I ever have been. Like,
I feel you, and there's so much for you to chew on. So I can imagine. I respect it 100%. The heavyweight tournament final. Vitor Belfort, Scott Ferrozo. Yeah, they're really milking this.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen a fight. Oh, if only that spinning elbow or back fist or whatever he was going for there exactly. Mm-hmm. If only that had landed.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Even the psychic wouldn't have saw that.
Yeah.
Dude, these knees, of course they're going to show it again. Just so rough. This was even worse though. Let's try to see this tap. I guess on the thigh there. Huh. Was it the corner? I'm so confused.
I don't even think he did tap. I wonder if Vitor was just like pointing out the injury or whatever. Mm-hmm. I wonder if he'd like opened him up real bad with the elbows and was just like, "Hey, yo, this guy's fucked up." Maybe, I don't know. You know,
I feel like a lot of guys do that even now. Where they're like, "Are you seeing the same shit I'm feeling?" Like, yeah.
I don't know what you want me to do here, but I feel like I'm doing enough.
Yeah, way more than enough. Who is that he's interviewing?
I don't know. I don't think I recognize anybody here.
From Vitor's camp. So he was listed as Vitor Belfort here. Wasn't it Victor Gracie? Wasn't that what he was going as before?
He was at one point, yeah. Oh, they spelled jiu-jitsu correctly under Vitor's name.
There we go. You got to get it right. It's different disciplines, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, 205, 6 foot for Vitor, and then 5'11, 323 for Scott Ferrozo. I feel like most people see that now and they're like, Scott's got it 100%.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how long Vitor was in the sport.
Mm-hmm. And at the top level, like I feel like there's different eras of Vitor, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking took Bisping's eye. That's the craziest shit ever. I can't believe he literally just pops that thing in and pops it out whenever he feels like.
Yeah.
Still to this day, though, that was one of my favorite championship wins to see him knock out Luke Rockhold like that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I first got into the sport, there was so many moments like that I would always be telling people like, shit happens that's just not supposed to happen. Like that. That's why I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great moment. I'm enjoying this lady in the flowery jacket
blazer, just killing it. Just killing it. I'm enjoying the amount of women with duck's ass haircuts back in the day. Just powerful.
And that dude right behind Tank's shoulder looks a little bit like John Wayne Gacy.
Oh shit! Maybe good shout. Great shout. Yeah. Tank Abbott is freaking sweating like crazy. You saw that flying off of him.
I love how Tank when he debuted at UFC 6, his like pre-fight interview kind of package thing or whatever, how he said, I'm going to be the most athletic person to ever fight in the octagon or whatever.
Yep. I
thought that was a funny word for him to have chosen.
literally. But hey, I mean, he made a splash in the debut. You can't call him wrong.
Yeah.
Can't call him wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy next to Vitor's his brother. He looks just fucking like him. This dude is so jacked, dude.
Yeah.
When your shoulders are cut up, like, why even show up to fight this guy? Like, dude's shoulders are bricked up.
Dumps a little water in the mouthpiece.
No,
and Scott Ferozzo's, I love how he's got his Adidas like kind of windbreaker jacket there, and it says Scott Ferozzo Pit Fighter right above the Adidas there. Yeah, that's Becky Levi right there behind him with the Back for More shirt on. I'm pretty sure, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I paused it, I ended up a little bit behind you now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll try to skip it up.
I guess I could just pause mine for 2 or 3 seconds and start it again, and maybe we'd be close to go.
Cool.
Was it just like a couple seconds?
Yeah, it was slightly off. Should be good. Powerful. So I wonder if him and Severn did any training together then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Be interesting.
Yeah, it's like certain dudes from these older days, you know, you wonder, because it's like obviously with the first few events when it was just like, you know, karate black belts and things like that, obviously those guys were training in their disciplines, but it wasn't like actual like mixed martial arts training, you know. So it's interesting to think about, like, at what point, you know, as we're evolving through here, at what point are people actually like doing legitimate MMA training and actually going through camps and stuff like that. So like you look at a guy like Scott Ferozzo, how was he training leading up to this? You know, like what was he actually doing? I don't know. It's interesting to think about.
Question. I love the first couple of UFCs. They did a lot of packages like showing them train, like with Orlando V. You see him throwing those elbows, things like that.
Yep.
I feel like they strayed away from that big time. It would have been cool to see what he does. Just probably like Derek Lewis eating a rack of ribs and then hitting the bag for a couple minutes.
Yeah, those first few, like especially UFCs 2 and 3, those sort of like pre-fight packages you're talking about where it showed the training, I practically have those like memorized in my head because I've watched them so many times, like the little training spots.
I think UFC 2 is one of my favorite events ever, and it wasn't
2
even
is my favorite.
Nice, yeah, it wasn't even because it was so crazy. Like a lot of crazy shit happened, don't get me wrong, especially the Remco Pardo Orlando V fight. That was my favorite.
All right,
let's get into it. Heavyweight tournament final here.
Nobody's engaging yet.
I love Vitor's stutter start feints.
Yeah.
Oh, the little side kick. Ooh, that straight left right down the middle. Oh, and he dropped him.
I'm going to pause for a few more seconds.
Big right. Oh, just pounding him out now. And it's over. And Scott still wants to go. Look, oh, yep. Almost takes him down. They got to separate him. That's insane, dude. He must have just not known. Yeah, Big John's pissed. Crazy. Damn, just pummeled him. That was so fast, dude.
Yeah.
Screaming jujitsu. Damn, and he opened him up that quick too. Powerful. You'll have to see it. Holy shit.
Oh, there's Don Fry too.
Oh yeah, with Scott Feroza. I know that they train together. Oh, I think he's trying to tell him why the hell you did that. Yeah, respect, man, respect. Holy shit! I wonder if I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but how the hell do you not want to get this guy back in there as soon as possible? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think he's in the next event, but yeah, what I didn't get too is like, of course, I get why you want to do the Dan Severn Mark Coleman matchup. It makes sense. But Don Fry just won the last tournament that you were supposed to be in. Like, wouldn't you think that's the matchup they would go for? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining though. I've been waiting to see this. So I'm hyped. I have no clue what happens in that one, so I'm really looking forward.
I can remember. I actually can remember how that fight ends. Sometimes watching these, I can't remember. I do remember that one.
Yeah, that straight left just stunned him.
Yeah, and then he just pops him with that same shot again.
He's just way too fast. Doesn't matter that he already cracked you once with it. I love that. I feel like that happens so often in these old fights. Like they get in a position and they're like they're like looking around like is this really happening? Like, oh yeah, I could hit him from here. Yeah, hell of a tournament for Vitor. That looks so crazy. 97 UFC heavyweight champ.
So yeah, they are using the word champ, but like putting the it's.
And you would think that you got the heavyweight title, you would think this is an automatic like number one contenders kind of situation, but we'll see. I guess next event. Yo, the amount of times I hope that's his pops. The amount of times this dude has kissed Vitor. Oh, we got another one on the shoulder too. Yeah, I would love. I can't wait to watch this back and just hear. He probably sounds like barely speaking English right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool that Rogan is interviewing Vitor. Like, it's cool that that moment happened since it's their, you know, it's the first event for both of them. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy to think that Rogan's been working with the UFC since 1997. That's nuts.
And has it been like, is it consistent? Like from this point forward, he's there all the time?
I don't really remember. I don't remember.
I feel like it is. Like, I feel like he was a lot more involved. I'm hyped to see the WEC too. I haven't really seen any fights from that. So crazy. I have so much to look forward to with this show. But I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, with the rate of events and everything, like there's no way I ever catch up. Like I'm always gonna be 20 plus, 10 plus years behind whatever's live. There's just so many events now today.
There's a few there's a small pocket of UFC events that and I don't know if this is different now, but in the 20s or so, where I don't know if you can even find them. Like there was a short period of time where they didn't have I don't know if it was like right before the sale from SEG to Zuffa or something, where like I don't think they had a deal to be putting out the fights, at least on like DVD and stuff like that. Maybe they're now available with streaming and stuff. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into it, but I know there were a few, because I used to buy like at any given time, I knew the date of the next event and I knew the date that the next DVD came out, because I always went to Media Play and bought the DVD. And then for a little while there, the DVDs didn't come out. So I'm not sure if those are available now or not, but there's a pocket of events that I've never seen because they weren't available to see.
Got you. That's crazy. Yeah, I definitely need to look into that, because that'll suck if I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
now we're on UFC 33 because there's no events in between.
But yeah, I suppose with, you know, the fact that they didn't come out on DVD doesn't mean that the footage wasn't there. So I suppose with streaming, they're probably, is that Conan Silveira back there? I think Conan Silveira is standing behind it. I think so. He's blocked right now, but
yeah, right behind the coach.
There. Yeah.
Shout out to Josh Silveira too, his son doing the damn thing. Oh, yeah, I think it is. Yep. Vitor's got the whole family out there with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real clean, straight through the guard too. It's not like he's. I mean, his hands are
Bam.
low, but not too low. Yeah, boom. Jiu-jitsu. Powerful. That's so crazy, man. I love how the further the event goes, this woman is just more pissed off.
Yeah.
Clearly
How did
having
she
an
end up
argument with
there?
her husband right there. Just
Yawning in the back, ready to go home.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, I can't even remember like UFC 13, the next event. I can't even think of. I think up to 12 was the ones that I had on VHS. So those are the ones I watched a bunch of times. I mean, I'm sure I've seen 13, but I can't even really remember it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love to. Let me go down and look at this real quick. Freaking John McCain. It was John McCain's fault.
Yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
RIP though, RIP, but still.
Yeah, he was like the main dude who was uh fighting against MMA in the early days there.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that only added to the mystique though. Like for anyone that was interested in
Mm-hmm.
any sort of combat sport, or any sort of discipline, like you were saying, this was the way.
There's Bob Meyerowitz, and is that Art Davie? Bob Meyerowitz, Art Davie putting the medal on him there, I think.
In the metal. Yeah, makes sense. Excuse me.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I got retweeted by Campbell McLaren the other day.
Powerful, powerful. I love Campbell McLaren's Twitter. He does not give a fuck. Like he clearly he goes after people, cusses people out all the time. It's hilarious. Do you watch any combate?
I have, but not regularly. No.
Yeah, I try to catch it whenever I can because I have the channel. I feel like a lot of their events are fucking barn burners. Like they get all action fighters there for sure.
Yeah, I don't. With most of the smaller promotions, like I don't I don't catch them really consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do if I know, like if it just happens to be a day and I find out that something's on, like I'll watch it, but I don't necessarily always know like when they're happening and watch them religiously.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. There's so many.
Yeah.
Like there's
Especially
an
now that I'm
LFA
trying
this
to.
weekend. I'm like, yeah, you should look into that if you got time. See if there's any lines that pop out on you.
Yeah, like I wish that I had time to like I'd love to be consistently betting Bellator and LFA and stuff. And I do if I have time, but I don't even get my tape study done for UFC until like Thursday a lot of the time, and I don't get my preview video out until Friday. Like in my mind, this stuff like I want it to be happening way earlier, but it's like it's just so tough to keep up with everything, you know?
For sure. I was looking at the card for this week. I wanted to ask you preliminary. I don't know if you've done any tape study yet, but two people I think that you should already have your mind on. I hope I'm not painting a bad picture for you. I'm making you a
No,
little
go for it.
biased. Jonathan Martinez against who is he fighting again? Alejandro Perez, and then Brahimaj. He's fighting a guy that's coming off a tough. I think that's two perfect spots. I wonder
Michael
if the tape,
Gilmer, right? Yeah.
yeah, I wonder if the
I
tape says the same thing.
I haven't gotten to the Martinez fight yet. I did the tape on the Brahima and Gilmore fight, and yeah, I think it's hard. It's hard for me to imagine Brahima losing that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I mean, I didn't watch a ton of tape on Gilmore, but he didn't seem like he's very good from what I saw.
Yeah, for sure, and especially takedown defense is the issue.
And yeah, I've seen people on Brahima by sub there, which I think is probably a good bet.
Mm-hmm.
God, Coleman's such a monster.
Yeah, dude is so big. I'm so hyped for this. Look, they got the belts too. Powerful. I don't know if you noticed, one of the belts has like a inner lining, like a fur inner lining. Like that is so crazy.
Well, you got to make it comfy, right?
Yeah, it must smell like hell in there. Trust.
Yeah, no shit. And yeah, Severn's already 38 here. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Coleman's
240, 161, 260, 6'2" for Severn. But Coleman looks way more jacked. Like when they're
yeah, Severn was always one of those dudes who's like, he's not jacked, but you can tell he's powerful, you know? I mean, he's like a 100%. Big dude, but he's not like ripped up at all. Who does he have with him there?
Holy shit. Another thing I love about these events too, because I try to keep it as pure as I can. I feel like it's main event time right now. Like
yeah,
nothing feels like that. Usually watching events live, it's hard to get that, but with this one, I'm freaking pumped. Combines Greco-Roman with collegiate style. Body slam / suplex, ground and pound, groundwork.
Yeah, that's his wife there, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The very first live MMA event I ever went to, it was this little regional show in South Dakota in like 1998 or 99. I talk about that in that video I put out too, that 5 craziest things I did in the 90s or whatever. But I was talking to one of the guys. My best friend was fighting on that show, and I cornered him. And I was talking to one of the other guys that was fighting on the show, and there was like a program for the show that like listed the fighters and their style. And this dude was looking at his opponent, and he's like, ground and pound. What the? Because that was what it listed for his style. It said, and he's like, what's ground and pound? I was like, you know who Mark Coleman is from the UFC? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's ground and pound. And he goes, oh shit.
That's hilarious. The immediate regret. Oh shit. Yeah. Literally. Real quick before this one starts, how is that? How was cornering? Were you shook? I mean, I'm pretty sure you were close with him.
It was like it was weird because I mean, this was like, you know, there wasn't any kind of like training camp or anything really. We were like 19 years old, and we're kids who trained in karate and like goofed around with submissions on our own, didn't really know what we were doing. So like, yeah, it was literally just, we were just two dumb 19-year-old kids, and he just went in and fought, and I was in his corner, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing, you know? I mean, it was just, that's how it was then, kind of, you know? Mm-hmm. It was like, we found out this no holds barred event was happening, and another friend of ours was fighting in it, who actually was a wrestler and had done jujitsu and like belonged there to some degree at least, you know. But my buddy was like, I'm gonna do it too, and I was like, fuck yeah. So that was yeah, we had
powerful
no being there. Yeah.
Powerful. Were you like doing the water thing, or were you just
No, we didn't even have
water.
No, we didn't have nothing. No, we had no idea what we were doing, had no business being. Did he win? But yet that no. No, I
love how quick you said no.
Yeah, no. I tell the whole story of that event in that video too.
Nice.
And I have pictures from it and stuff. Yeah, that was my first experience with a live, and it was literally in a park, and they just rolled out a wrestling mat in the grass. There's no ropes. There's no. It's just like folding chairs around a mat in the park. That was how it went down.
That is crazy. Old school. I love Mark Coleman's scowl in these face downs. He looks so pissed. I think up to this point, though, my favorite has to be Brian Johnston. This dude looks like a freaking school shooter. Looking across the octagon, just super, super angsty.
I've been friends with Brian Johnston on Facebook for years. He's a pretty cool guy, actually. I mean, I haven't like talked to him a ton or anything, but I've interacted with him a little bit.
That's super cool. Yeah, you're a freaking OG, Eric. Thank you for coming on, man. This was super fun. Problem. Super fun. Main event time, baby.
Here we are.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, just because I said I'm keeping this as pure as possible. I really think whenever I thought about this fight, I'm like, this is the guy that could give Coleman problems. So I'm really hype. I feel like Severn's got a chance, man. Severn's got a chance.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is the best. You know, they knew what they were doing. This is like the best matchup you can make at this time, right? As far as just the most intrigue and
For sure. And especially because he already fought Don Fry, and we saw how that one went. But that was also a close one too. Like I feel like with some adjustments, that could be a closer fight. Man, I'm hyped for this. I know I keep saying it, but I don't care. Yeah, I gotta feel it.
we are underway.
Yeah, it looks like we're pretty synced up now again too. So thanks.
Cool.
Oh man.
Neither guy's wearing gloves. Coleman's got his hands wrapped a little bit.
Super surprising to see him coming forward too. In the past, he's really been big on circling out. Front headlock position here for Coleman. Oh, good dunk under. Oh, but he got cracked in that exchange. Nice jab for Coleman. It's really weird seeing him with this aggressive style, man. Oh, right into full mount. Oh, he was able to scramble out of it. I love seeing Severn work defensively on the ground. I think this is the first time we get to see that, really.
Yeah.
Sneaky good at like defending these shots, like seeing where they're coming from.
Yeah, Coleman's managing to control him pretty effectively so far.
Thank you. I was about to say I'm like super invested. I'm like not even saying anything. It got him in like a turtle front right position. Oh, and into full mount again. Yeah, Severn's holding on here. This happens to Coleman a lot, to be honest. Guys are just trying to hold as much as they can.
Yeah.
Oh, into scarf hold. No
Yeah,
way he gets him with
jumps
this.
over into scarf hold.
Looks tight too. Looks tight.
He's squeezing.
That it looks like the elbow's passed. So he should
Oh,
be good. Oh, readjusted.
He's gonna burn his arms out. He's really squeezing that
for sure. Severn's landed some pot shots here. Yeah, man, that arm is out unless he readjusts. Little pot shots for Severn there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, he's got the fingers in the eyes there, it looks like.
No problem either. Oh, he tapped out for wow.
That's it.
He switched it too at the end there. That's crazy. Second time he got that choke in the UFC too. Oh man.
Somebody was holding a sign in the background there that just said Coleman kicks ass.
I mean, you're not wrong, dude. Holy shit.
There's Kevin Randleman in his corner.
Oh, the monster. Shout out Kevin Randleman, man. RIP.
I got a picture with Kevin Randleman in that video too.
Awesome. I can't wait to check that out.
Yeah, he was just inducted into the Hall of Fame in September. I went to the ceremony for that.
Awesome.
There's a dude eating nachos behind
the
shittiest
nachos as well. Like let's make sure the people at home know that as well. surprised he has any left with this main event. I love how they're like, nah, we don't have the space to write heavyweight.
Yeah.
HVYWT.
And they put undisputed. I wonder if that's like the wording that they're using to like separate it or whatever. It said undisputed heavyweight champion. Vitor, it said like 1997 heavyweight champion or whatever. Mm-hmm.
I love that Coleman just rolls with a bunch of jack dudes. Like, all he got in his corner is a bunch of dudes that are just on all the gear. Like, I'm not crazy for assuming that those guys are on something, right? Like you don't get that big naturally, dude. Like, that is crazy.
I mean, I'm kind of one of those dudes who is under the impression that pretty much every fighter is on something. I mean, you know, I think it's weird when fans get down on a fighter for when they're like, oh, I'm not a fan of that fighter anymore because they use steroids or whatever. I'm like, you don't think they're all doing it? I don't know. You know, I mean, I
agree.
Not like I know that for a fact or anything, but there are plenty of fighters out there who will tell you, you know, people who've been in the game for a long time who are like, yeah, they're all on it. You know,
they're all on. Yeah, the famous Nate Diaz quote.
I mean, how are you not? You know, if you're trying to operate at that level and you know practically everybody else is doing it, and how are you going to operate at that level if you
don't catch up? Yeah, you gotta make. It's the rat race, the good old Lance Armstrong rat race. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that eventually comes out that we find out that so many people were on. I find it so wild that not even that long ago, just a couple years, they were allowing fucking HGH and all that. Like, it was, you could go to the doctor, get it prescribed, and go and fight. It's crazy.
Yeah, and TRT, you could get testosterone. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago that they outlawed testosterone.
Yeah, I remember when Weidman fought Vitor, that was the big storyline. Like, he's no longer on TRT.
Yep.
Crazy. Yeah,
TRT
man.
tour.
The most infamous, more infamous than C-Level Kane.
Yeah, and you could absolutely see the difference in his physique immediately. I mean, yeah, you could for sure.
Even post-retirement from the UFC again, like when he went and he was claiming that he was going to fight in one, this dude's traps are like all the way up here. It's insane.
I won. That was it. I couldn't remember. I went to there was this like one like media event that happened at Extreme Couture actually, and I went to that, and Vitor was there, and he talked about, it was like they did like some open workouts. It's kind of weird. It was literally just like a media thing where they did some open workouts and interviewed some people and stuff. And yeah, Vitor, that was where he announced that he was gonna fight for one, but he didn't fight for one.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he went to boxing.
Yeah.
Interested to see if that happens. Yeah, one is a little sketchy to me, man. I don't know how the hell they get their money. I don't know how they're still in business.
And yeah, like I don't really pay any attention to one. I don't even know if I've ever watched any other events.
It's a weird spot too, like Friday mornings at like 7 a.m. I watch a couple of their events though. I'm excited to see that DJ Rodtang mixed rules fight.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Goes. Yeah. As soon as the MMA round starts, it's over. But if he could last to get to it.
Yeah, they're going round by round, right? They're doing like a Muay Thai round and an MMA round or something.
It's like really Muay Thai, kickboxing, and then MMA. So he has like two rounds to get through before he even has a chance to blow him out the water.
Well, clearly they thought about how to set it up anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick as they wrap this up, so any closing thoughts on this, man? This event was awesome. Thank you for coming on again. I feel like it wasn't star-studded, but the fact that the guys that are in it, that we all like, obviously we all know who these guys are. So it was super cool to see how it all played out for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see like we're almost getting into the point of the sport here where like it's a bridge from the early days into the more modern, you know, because like we're seeing, I mean, Vitor makes his debut here, and he was still fighting until just a couple of years ago and might still fight, you know. And I mean, Coleman was around the sport for a long time. It's like it's just really cool to see how, and then even just like you were saying, breaking down some of the techniques here. I mean, you're seeing things technique wise that, I mean, they've evolved somewhat, but you're seeing things technique wise happening here that are still relevant in the game today, you know? So it's neat to watch that happening. It's got to be really fun for you. Like, I'm jealous of what you're doing right now, you know, that you get to watch these events for the first time. Like, I wish I could wipe my mind and just go back and watch all these UFCs for the first time again. Like, that would be really, really fun. So I'm excited for you that you get to do this.
Like, I think my biggest surprise, hands down, I'm like, how the hell do more people not talk about Don Frye? Like, this guy is holding it down, like every event. I think he's like 6-1 currently, which is crazy.
I don't know if you saw, I made a post on Twitter today asking, like, hey, who do you guys feel is, like, relatively speaking, the first fighter in the UFC to have like a pretty complete, well-rounded game? And obviously that's, you know, you can define that however you want. And there's a lot of people who've been saying BJ Penn, somebody mentioned Vitor, people have been mentioning like GSP. And like, really what I was looking for, I was thinking all the way back to Don Frye and Marco Ruas. I mean, you could say, I mean, Don Frye, you know, probably lacked the submission game a little bit. Marco Ruas probably lacked the wrestling game a little bit. So, I mean, they, you know, but everybody's got holes in their game. You know, I think you can argue that Don Frye was a pretty legitimately well-rounded mixed martial artist at this time, you know? I mean,
100%. And Marco Ruas is a great shout too. I was super impressed with him, just his ability to walk the ring. Like, even guys now that I'm seeing in these events aren't having the same level of movement that he has, especially moving forward and backwards.
And that's that.
Yeah, man.
UFC
That's that.
12 comes to a close.
That was awesome, dude.
Man, that was fun. That was great. I definitely want to come back and do one of these with you again. That was a great time.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely keep you posted, let you know. I'll send you too. I want you to see the document and how I got it all laid out. But it's only right that we wrap this up by giving out our awards, man. It's only right.
Oh, yeah.
So first up, we got Fight of the Night. I feel like this one's tough. This event. None really immediately sticks out.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm trying to think back. Yeah, if I had to pick my fight of the night, what would it be? I think
Waleed. Not at all.
I think if I had to pick my fight of the night, I would maybe go with Vitor and Teligman, just because it was the Vitor's first fight in the UFC and against a pretty legit competitor from a pretty legit camp. And just the way he finished him and those brutal elbows, like, yeah, I think that's going to be mine.
Nice. I like that. This is tough. This is super tough. I wanted to agree with you, but I'm like, I need a little bit more parity than that. I need a little bit more back and forth. But yeah, this event didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to give it to this one, but it didn't play out anywhere near the way I thought it would. So yeah, I feel like I have to go with that Vitor one as well. Performance of the night. I think you got to give this one to Mark Coleman, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, you just mentioned that, you know, you wanted to give it to that final heavyweight championship fight there, but it's like, the way it played out, it wasn't even particularly competitive. I mean,
exactly.
Like you said, Dan Severn was the guy that, you know, you watching these for the first time, he's the guy that you've been waiting for. Like, okay, somebody's going to have something for Coleman here. And then he kind of didn't. So that's.
And the reason why I give it to him too is like, it was well-rounded in the way that before he was more of a counter fighter and more like letting these guys sort of pull into him and then getting takedowns off of that. We saw the pressure game on full of force in this one. And I always thought that would be freaking scary as hell. Like his size, his stature, his power moving forward. So yeah, I think that's my performance of the night for sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. I like it.
KO of the night. What you got?
No, I'm trying to think, man. I mean, it wasn't even technically a knockout, but I'm gonna go with Ferozo dropping those knees on Jim Mullen. That was wild. That was nasty.
That's a good one. I like it. I'm gonna go with Vitor knocking out Ferozo. I think the way he finished with those punches, especially that straight left, the second one that dropped him, crazy. But both are good for sure. And the submission of the night, there's only one option, right?
Yeah, it's got to be that Well, I suppose there's two. I immediately thought back to that crucifix. Is that the one you were thinking of, or were you thinking of the
I was thinking of Coleman, but that's
Coleman
very
with the scarfold. Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll pick the crucifix. So then we get two of them in there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good shot. I don't know why I completely forgot about that. Like it wasn't 2 fights ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great too, because we haven't seen that at all at this point in the UFC. So great. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I can't even remember if that's something that we see again. It might not be. I can't remember for sure. I'm gonna have to look that up now. But yeah, that's crazy.
That's been one of the funner things for me. Like I remember in one of the earlier fights, I forget exactly who it was, so sorry that I'm not remembering, but someone went for that same arm triangle from the bottom that Aljamain Sterling ended up hitting on Takeya Mizugaki. And I'm like, I'm pulling in all these dots together. I'm like, you see, like nothing's really new. Like there's a lot to look back on and see. So that's really cool, man. But
hell yeah.
Eric, thank you so much for coming on, man. This was super fun.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you all stuck around with us to the end here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure for me. So I hope it's a pleasure for you guys. And hey, man, reach out. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say as far as feedback. If you want Eric on more, hell, you keep banging down the doors, I'm sure he'll be willing to come on as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, don't forget to check out the brand at OTS Media Co., as well as OTS Media on YouTube. And check us both out. Once again, Chris Negron at Negron MMA on Twitter, and Chris Negron _ on Instagram. Eric, once again, take us home. Give them your socials. Send them to the right place to find all your good content.
Yeah, we'll do. You can find me at Eric Betts Fights on Twitter and Eric Betts Fights on YouTube. Those are the only things I've got going right now. You can also find me every Saturday, an hour before the UFC prelims kick off. So every Saturday that there's an event on DFS by the Numbers on YouTube, we do a show called Best Bets, where there's a panel of 4 of us. We go through the whole card and give our best bets, and the show ends right as the UFC prelims begin. So it's your last stop before the card starts.
That's awesome, man. Get your last minute bets in right before it's too late. That's so dope. So thank you so much for coming out, you guys. I really appreciate all the love and support. Make sure to check us out and follow us. Do all those good things. Rate, subscribe, all of that. Thank you so much for the support so far. And I'll catch you guys next week with the traditional episode of the MMA Archive. Have a good one, you guys.